Richmond is our home and we're ready to learn. We'll find fish, birds and bugs everywhere we turn. If you're with blue sky, you know we're exploring. So come on, let's go and have some fun.
Welcome to Belle Isle. Today we will explore portions of this 54-acre island located in the middle of the James River right here in Richmond, Virginia. This James River Park System property features wooded trails, mountain biking trails, interpreted historical sites, and a granite wall for rock climbing.
What do you already know about rocks and fossils?
Minerals, ores, and rocks are considered natural resources and have specific purposes in everyday life. Earth's geosystem is constantly changing. These changes are modeled through the rock cycle and through plate tectonics. Fossils provide information about life and conditions in the past.
What would you like to learn about rocks and fossils?
Today we'll explore the presence of different types of rocks in Virginia, how they were formed, and how they're used in our everyday life. We will make inferences about changes on Earth based on fossil evidence.
We have lots of geological features right here in Richmond. Let's take a look at them as we go on a geology hike.
Geology is a study of the Earth and what it is made of. Geologists study the changes and events that have helped change and shape the Earth's surface, and also rocks, fossils, minerals, landforms, and layers of the Earth's surface.
Let's go on a hike. Look at this moss.
Whoa, I've never seen that there.
Morning light.
Remember that geological features take place over time. It took 2 million years for the water to cut down this valley to create the river. The rock formations that you see behind us that form the fall line are over 330 million years old.
Those granite structures down there, they used to support a single lane bridge that was an access point to an iron company on Belle Isle. So over many years, the power of the floods and the water has destroyed that bridge.
Erosion is the process in which wind or water moves sediment from one place to another. In this area just after the rapids, the river is widened and it's also shallow. And this is a great spot where you can see deposition. Right behind of this cluster of logs right here, you can see there's some slight shallow area and there's a sandy bottom. That is where the soil has washed from upstream and collected right down here behind this pile of sticks and debris and that pillar from the old bridge.
We've made it to Belle Isle. This rock right here is a type of rock called Petersburg granite, and it was cut right here from the Richmond quarry on the island.
Before we continue on our hike, let's dig deeper into different types of rocks.
Rocks didn't just magically appear here on Earth. They actually went through a process called the rock cycle. And during this process, 3 different types of rocks are formed. We have a little song we want to share with you that helps us remember the rock cycle process. Ready, gang?
Oh yeah.
Sedimentary rock has been formed in layers, often found near water sources as fossils from decayers. Then there's igneous, here since Earth was born. Molten lava cooled and hardened, that's how it was formed. These 2 types of rocks can also be transformed. With pressure, light, and chemicals, metamorphic will be formed. Let's look at some rock samples and see if we can figure out which part of the rock cycle they were formed in.
This rock looks really cool and really striped. Let's see if we can use this dichotomous key to figure out what it is. Starting at question number 1, does the rock have crystals? They look like little shiny mirrors throughout the whole rock. It does. Yes, go to number 2. Does the rock have layers? It certainly does. Look at all those stripes. is layering in our rock? Yes, go to number 3. Can you scratch the rock with a butter knife? Good thing I have a butter knife to try scratching it. It does not leave a mark when I scratch it with the butter knife, so no. This dichotomous key says that it is gneiss, G-N-E-I-S-S, gneiss. That's metamorphic.
I love the color of this stone. Let's see what it is. All right. Does the rock have crystals? They look like tiny, shiny mirrors throughout the whole rock. No, they do not. So go to 7. Is the surface of the rock glassy or waxy? No, it does not look glassy or waxy. So go to 10. Is rock metallic looking? No, it is not. Go to 11. Does the rock have gas bubbles? They look like holes all over the rock. They can be big or small. No gas bubbles in this one. Go to 13. Can you scratch pieces of sand off the rock with a nail? Here. Yes, you actually can. Go to 14. Does the rock have large pebbles mixed in with the sand? No, it does not. It is sandstone, sedimentary.
I want to know what this rock is. Does the rock have crystals? They look like shiny mirrors throughout the whole rock. No. Go to number 7. Is the surface of the rock glassy or waxy? No. Go to number 10. Is the rock metallic looking? No. Go to number 11. Does the rock have gas bubbles? They look like tiny holes all over the rock that can be big or small. Yes. Go to 12. Does the rock float? Let's bring over our water and see if this rock will float or sink. Oh, that rock definitely sinks to the bottom. So, it does not float, which means it is basalt, which is an igneous rock.
We identified our rocks using our dichotomous key, but how do we know if they're correct?
Let's check the answer key.
My rock was identified as basalt, and it is number 2. I was right as well. This says this is an igneous rock, the lava rock. That must be why there's so many holes all over the rock from the little air bubbles from the lava.
I identified my rock as gneiss, and that says it's number 7. Here's number 7. That looks pretty similar. Look at all those layers. It is a metamorphic rock, which explains why it actually has those layers.
My rock is sandstone. This is number 15. It is a match to the picture. It's sedimentary. That must be why you can see the sand particles compressed together. Pretty cool.
You can model this rock cycle that created those rocks that we just looked at while making a tasty s'more. You will need 1/4 cup of mini marshmallows, 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, 1 graham cracker square, and a paper plate. You're going to want to start with freshly washed hands and make sure you dry them thoroughly. Miss Regan, Mr. Dustin, and Mr. David, let's start by opening your bags and compressing the mini marshmallows and chocolate chips in your hands. Press them all together until they form one solid mass. Keep pressing. Combine them together. Any idea what type of rock this simulates? If you're thinking sedimentary, you're right. Layers of sediment are cemented together just like they are doing with these marshmallows, and chocolate chips. You guys have your rock balls all together? Mr. David, you look like you got it going. Now you're going to use your warm hand to press it down on the plate. Press your sedimentary rock down using the pressure from your hand and the heat from your hand. When you add pressure and heat to a rock, it forms a metamorphic rock. Let's see those flattened out metamorphic rocks you guys have. That's lots of pressure, just like the rocks undergo under the earth. Great job, Mr. Dustin. I see your metamorphic rock has already begun to form. Lastly, you will put your metamorphic rock onto a graham cracker square. And once it's on the square, we will use extreme heat by putting it into the microwave for 15 seconds. Now that it's melted and begins to cool, it will form the next rock in the rock cycle process. Well, good thing for Mr. Dustin, Miss Regan, and Mr. David, I pre-melted these in a microwave at home.
Boom. Is that too slanty?
So now the heat has melted the metamorphic rock, it has cooled off and hardened, and an igneous rock was formed. Have fun exploring the rock cycle process with this tasty s'mores treat. We are now at the bottom of the river valley. You may notice the white water rushing over the rocks and what looks like a fall zone, but actually that straight line is where a pipe was brought in from Richmond onto the island to restore and provide water when the steel mill was here.
Standing here at Hollywood Rapids, you can tell that the granite does not form a straight line. It has a lot of nooks and crannies that the water has formed as it rushes through these rapids in whitewater. In this area, the rapids are class 3 and 4 whitewater, and this is considered the fall zone of Richmond.
Look at this hole. The potholes found in the granite rocks are created when small pebbles and sand get caught in the granite cracks. As water floods through the crack, the pebbles grind against the granite, creating a small hole. Over time, the rocks are swept into the cavity and they grind out a bigger hole. The inside surfaces of the crack have polished grooved sides that create mirrored faces called slicken sides. The rock cracked during tectonic movement. As the cracked pieces shifted and slid against one another, frictional forces scour the surfaces.
Here we can see cracks and stress lines, thin lines in the granite that are straight and long. Movement of plates in the Earth's crust caused the fall zone granite to pull and slide, resulting in stress lines and cracks. The cracks in the granite of the James River are small in comparison to the vastness of the Earth's tectonic plates.
When Belle Isle was the site of a granite quarry, this iron ring anchored cables that lifted granite blocks by way of a crane-like tower. With all this granite harvesting, it must have been a useful rock. Let's see if Miss Tanisha can share more with us about the uses of rocks.
Yeah, what are they good for? Absolutely nothing. That's not right. Rocks are good for lots of things. Sure are. Let's see if Mr. David and Miss Regan know their stuff and can help us figure out exactly what rocks are good for. Okay. So, we have 3 rock samples here in front of you. Your job will be to match the rock cycle with the picture of their uses. I'm going to give you all 45 seconds. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. You ready, Mr. David?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, The clock will start now.
Okay, Mr. David. So let's start here.
Okay.
So this picture here looks like power and like energy kind of stuff going on. So what kind of rock do you think could
This one
make
looks
that?
the most like coal to me. I think coal gives us energy.
You're
so
right.
We put that
Okay.
one there.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that looks like coal. So here we've got this brick in this building. And,
Yeah, that looks like brick. And this must be kind of like natural gas.
Natural gas, right? So a rock can give us that? Interesting.
Yes, I think so. Actually, this one
Okay.
might be able to.
Okay, that rock will go there. And then here we've got a path and we've got a building and a table or a countertop.
Oh, I
Countertops.
have granite countertops at
Yes,
my home.
I've heard of that. Granite countertops. This must be granite.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right, Miss Tanisha, I think we're done.
Great job. Timer is stopped. You guys did awesome. You're correct. This is coal, and coal is burned in factories to create and generate electricity that we use in our homes. The second stone that you all found, any ideas what type of rock it might be?
Ooh.
I think it is sedimentary rock because it has layers.
Yeah, it has the layers.
You're absolutely right. It is a sedimentary rock called shale. And shale is used to build buildings by grinding it down and incorporating it into bricks. But also, deep inside of shale, there is natural oil.
Wow.
That's right, oil like you might use to put in your car. And the oil is extracted from the rock and utilized to create natural gas.
That's amazing.
Our last one is granite. Mr. David, you're right. Lots of people have granite countertops at home. You even see a picture of the cobblestones that you can see on Canal Street here in Richmond.
Oh.
Wow.
You may have even walked by a building or two and noticed that there's stone on the front. And oftentimes that is granite. Rocks do have lots of great uses. I guess my song was wrong. Let's use our 5 fingers to help us breathe. Start by taking one hand and spreading it, all your fingers far apart like a star. Take the pointer finger of your other hand and place it at the base of your hand on your wrist. Now you're going to use that pointer finger to trace around your hand, up the side of your thumb and down the other side while you inhale and down while you exhale. Continue on and inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale as you trace around back to where you started. Great job. 5 fingers of breathing.
Another way that geologists collect information about the changes that have taken place over the long life of the Earth is with the help of fossils. Fossils are the remains or traces of plants and animals that lived long ago. Most fossils are found on Earth that once lay underwater in sedimentary rock only.
This is an example of a compression fossil, a fern leaf pressed into shale. You can see the imprint of the leaves from the plant that lived long ago. And we have this cool stuff. Sounds pretty
Wow.
metallic, but it's not metal at all. It's actually petrified wood. This wood was made between 50 to 60 million years ago and submerged in water. The organic parts were replaced with rock, mineral, and metals. Fossils help us learn about past animals and plants that lived on Earth, weather of the time, and landforms. What do you think you can learn about these fossils?
This is the Chesapecten jeffersonius. It looks like a seashell. Maybe it's an animal that lived in the water.
Yes, It is a scallop animal, which means it had a bivalve. It was found along major rivers in southeast Virginia and Yorktown. It was around 8 to 3 million years ago. It ate by filter feeding, it ate plankton, and it would swim by flowing by. It supports the idea that the ocean was as close as Richmond.
Megalodon. This looks like a tooth. This animal must have been pretty big. These teeth are sharp and serrated on the edge, so I think that this animal would have been a carnivore.
That's right, Mr. Dustin. Sharks 9 million years ago were 50 to 70 feet long, the length of a blue whale. Just imagine a tooth coming at you the size of my hand. They lived in warm, shallow seas and each lost hundreds of teeth at a time. Teeth are found in continents all over the world except for Antarctica. These large creatures fed on whales and dolphins. Wow, looks like these fossils have taught us a lot about Earth long ago.
You can create your own fossil models at home. You will need a piece of paper folded into fourths, or print off our dinosaur fossil sheet, modeling clay, toy dinosaur figure, a toy dinosaur skeleton, and glue.
We'll start by opening our Model Magic package. And then we'll separate it into 4 equal parts. I'll share a part with each of you. There you go, Miss Regan and Mr. David. Now we're gonna work to flatten our Model Magic clay into approximately a 3 by 3 square. And each of us are going to take a turn creating a different type of fossil. Mr. Dustin, would you like to start?
Yes, definitely. So you will take your dinosaur body and drag him across as if he were walking, leaving footprints and also tail prints as he moves along. This is a trace fossil.
The mold fossil. This takes place when the skeleton of an animal leaves an impression into the stone or rock that's underground. So you'll take your skeleton and press it into the Model Magic and carefully peel it up to make your mold fossil. Miss Regan, what kind of fossil would you like to make?
So I'm going to take this full body, and then I'm going to press it in, and then I'm going to leave it there, which creates a true form fossil.
Here you go, Mr. David.
Thank you. I'm going to use the dinosaur skeleton, and I'm going to press it firmly into the clay and leave it there. And this creates a cast fossil.
So have fun doing this at home, and feel free to share any pictures that you have doing this at home with our social media accounts and with the hashtag ThinkOutsideWithBlueSkyFund. And
they can also email it to us, Miss Regan.
You're right. We could email it to explorers@blueskyfund.org.
Have fun, scientists. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Explorers at Home. We hope that you and your family come explore Belle Isle on your own so that you can share all the new geological knowledge that you have. Be sure to like and share this video, subscribe so that you can get alerts for the new videos, and share videos or photos with us of the things that you've been doing at home as scientists. Remember to think outside with blue sky.
Richmond is our home and we're ready to